the collective consciousness defined. The concept of the collective consciousness finds its root in the law of one. This universal spiritual laws expounds on the oneness of all beings and creatures, tangible and abstract. Have you ever noticed days when people come to work and happen to be wearing similar outfits? And out of the blue, someone would burst out, "Whoa! Color of the day." What about meetings where people start pitching in similar ideas? Amused by such coincidences, you might have quipped, "Great minds think alike." In a more personal level, do you have someone in your life whom you can almost swear they know you like the palm of his/her hands and could finish off sentences you start? Apart from shared interests and thoughts, an invisible thread seems to connect you both. You might call this person your soulmate, twin flame, or the missing piece in your life. From a human perspective, psychology can easily refute that such incidents are the product of familiarity. It is important to remember that only 10% of the brain functions in conscious mode. What you might not be aware of is that your brain registers information about people you come in contact with. However brief an encounter might be, details are recorded. This happens despite your unconscious awareness. This can explain for instinctive knowledge which seem to spring out of nowhere. When pressed for explanations, you virtually have no idea how you acquired it. Stepping out of familiar, limited, and predictable environments. Are such incidents possible? The answer: yes. Indeed, such occurrences are not confined to spaces you frequently occupy. You might find yourself standing in line at the commute, observing passers-by. A few seconds or minutes pass and you might notice patterns, links, or similarities that come in a variety of forms such as sounds, images, hues, emotions, events, or conversations. You might suddenly think about roses. You turn your head in one direction and notice a painting of roses. A few seconds later, a couple appears and the man hands the woman a bouquet of roses. At that instant, the radio from nowhere suddenly plays "Bed of Roses." The above situation is just one manifestation of collective consciousness. But what exactly does it mean? Collective consciousness simply states that all of creation is one and entirety that could be likened to a body, composed of several parts. Whatever happens to one part has an equivalent effect on the whole body. Moreover, the thoughts of the body resonate outwards, sending out stimuli. Christians might find this coincides with what the Bible has to say in 1 Corinthians 12:20-27. As it is, there are many parts, but one body. The eye cannot say to the hand, "I don't need you," and the head cannot say to the feet, "I don't need you." On the contrary, those parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable, and the parts that we think are less honorable we treat with special honor, and the parts that are unpresentable are treated with special modesty, while our presentable parts need no special treatment. but God has put the body together, giving greater honor to the parts that lacked it, so that there should be no division in the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. Now you are the body of Christ, and each one of you is a part of it. For non-Christians, here is a well-known quote by Bruce Lee: "You must be shapeless, formless, like water." Think of water. Maybe picture the ocean, a spring, or a cup of water. Water is composed of numerous particles, which contain hydrogen and oxygen bonds. Each bond is unique and yet very much alike. They contain the similar substances, construct, structure, dimension, etc. You can easily mistake one for the other, but you can never replace one with another. Moreover, they are all connected. They float as a single body, as though with one mind. Where one goes, the other follows. And in this oneness, each particle remains united through turbulent tides and calm waves. Oneness and the Akashic record. Invariably, the idea of the collective consciousness is associated with comprehending the Akashic records. Those who practice or those familiar with mysticism, spirituality, and similar pursuits often speak about them. In a nutshell, it is the entirety of all that was, is, and could be. Everything that has ever been thought, spoken, and created make up what is referred to as the Akashic records. Having said that, it means every individual's past, present, and future thoughts and realities are stored in it. And this opens up the doors to the multidimensional reality of existence. This may be overwhelming for the current three-dimensional human perspective. Most people still function in three-dimensional reality. This limits their concept of time and space, which is confined to the present. In actuality, there are multiple realities existing simultaneously in a single plane. While there may be disputes regarding how to establish a single precise definition, one can safely summarize the link between humanity's collective consciousness to the Akashic records in this manner. Every entity, being, and structure, concrete or abstract, human or non-human, formed or formless, within this universe and parallel universes exists, coexists, and make up a single construct, which is often identified as God or the Source. Going back to the earlier analogy in the book of Corinthians, all beings can be likened to a stimulus traversing a brain, or individual cells functioning within a body. And as part of the whole that makes up this collective consciousness, everyone has the ability to gain access to these records.